Illusion shattered! Shine down! Yeah! Illusion shattered! Torn to oblivion! Lights out! Judgment!
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle.
Hell, you can't run! Illusion shattered!
Already? Not bad. You've got a trick or two.
Now you shall perish! Shine down! Shiver!
Has your luck run out?
Incinerate! Think you can get away? Judgment! There is no escape! Inadmissible evidence! You can't run! Illusion shattered! Insolent! Here we go! Lights out! Motion to compel!
Some you win, and some you lose.
can't run!
What you got? You're pretty good.
Judgment! Boom boom! Chia!
Should replace my hammer.
Time for takeoff. Judgment! Punishment!
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Picked the wrong test subject.
Motion to compel! Incinerate! Time for your arraignment! Boom boom!
Illusion shattered!
Judgment! Ah! Incinerate!
Torn to oblivion!
Think you can get away?
Let's get down to business.
You can't run!
Boom!
Shiver! Boom boom!
What's one move?
Brace yourself! Yeah!
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
You win this battle.
Let's play!
Illusion shattered!
Judgment! Lights out. Motion to compel. Breath of the...
Let's get down to
Time
business.
for takeoff. Brace yourselves. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yahoo! Boom boom.
To the glory.
Judgment. Add Astra. Thank you for
Everything is negotiable, except overtime.
a hand with anything? Hoishin is taking some time off at the moment. I'm covering for her. Just let me know if you need anything.
Finished?
Almost.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Qingxu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Ningguang's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Ningguang is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary! Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yelan.
Last but not least, Yi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Yi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle Tien.
You can't run! Huh?
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Yi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Qianwei went on to focus on his business, and Ningguang has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Yi was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tien?
Qianwei was referred to me by an old friend. Ningguang came to my attention in the course of my work. As for Yi, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Yi came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see. But it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Jiri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels. For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingguo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Yuehai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Yuehai.
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life. Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Yuehai. Have you heard of him before?
Yuehai? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Yuehai never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family. He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... oh, how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for YaoYao Boutique.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... that's Yuehai right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Qingxu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Yuehai. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Yuehai seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Yuehai's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Yuehai because you want to be Tianqu yourself, are you?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianqu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Zhiyi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Ah, yes, Zhiyi. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too!
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow! She switched identity again!
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Zhiyi who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him, that's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay, let's keep going.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Yuehai?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Yuehai. For example, I can't remember. Probably 'cause it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Yuehai?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Yuehai in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Yuehai stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yanshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? What was strange about it? Yuehai seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Yuehai's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Yuehai has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Yuehai was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the mora to pay for a publicity campaign. Right, and that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing. That's the worst-case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we asked Yuehai about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Yuehai must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Yuehai's manifesto on who we're dealing with. Come on, let's get back to Yanshang Tea House.
Don't we have a job to do?
Yuehai's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Yuehai, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically. Made any discoveries?
Not so far, but we're still looking. Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere. Oh, this reading is giving Paimon a headache. Let's take a break.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Qianwei, right?
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Qianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead...
to validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one step ahead of the competition. Well, when you're the competition, at least.
Whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Ningguang.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Ningguang struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Ningguang at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Ningguang is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today. According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Ningguang to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Ningguang gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that. Paimon's starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Qingxu Pool redevelopment plan. Qingxu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Azhdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Qingxu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation there.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Zhiyi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions. Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto? Oh yeah! Zhiyi said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Zhiyi wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qingxu Pool.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhiyi's secret supporter?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at present. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead. We may well find something new.
Qianwei and Ningguang both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Zhiyi? Is there another side to him too?
This will slow things down.
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's this? A diary?
From the back, it looks like a ledger, but it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think? These newcomers, Who could have sent them?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Qingxu pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical backbone of the team. That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Yuehai recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would maybe do a fresh background check on the place. No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance. It was a clever move.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
You want them to teach you or something? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. They're picking up all the skills unbelievably fast. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let us join them. I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll get to know each other over time.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink at Wanmin Restaurant. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away. Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very suspicious. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them and try our luck.
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up! These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house. Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation off course.
Darn! Guess this is where our trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Yuehai. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see. Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed. This is Yuehai. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Yuehai's regular contacts. Since Yuehai likes fishing, Yuehai thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Black Cliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Yuehai before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed to drag me out. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Yuehai once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Yuehai, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Yuehai, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially when he thinks he's about to win. Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yuehai Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll do next. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show. It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Qingxu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now, it falls to me to give him a satisfactory answer.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people. Mingguo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Zhi to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your great talents. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future and taking on some of my workload?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood. This is the last thing I want to be thinking about right now.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment. I hope you will work hard and make Uncle Tian proud.
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, Traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave!
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of them.
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult.
Sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates? I guess Zhi didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
No, Yuehai says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's being watched.
But how?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Xinyue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. Yuehai and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Yuehai had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then. But without any evidence, that would have been meaningless. So I stopped Yuehai, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue Kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring out what he's trying to achieve. Let's go to Xinyue Kiosk.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Yi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Yi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Yi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Yi has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Yi's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Yi bought 2.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Yi went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Xinyue Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Yi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses. No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Yi's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Yi may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Yi bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Yi is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves. Stick to your orders. And make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Zhi might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Zhi may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yanshang Tea House. Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingxu Pool.
Qingxu Pool? That's the place Zhi mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingxu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time. This is Qingxu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Is this my final
There's
job?
been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still, be ready to fight at any moment. Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly and quietly. We don't want to attract too much attention.
Don't worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later. Take it easy.
Think you can get away? There is no escape! Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered!
Busted! Gotcha! As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Guys, see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Zhi. Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Time for takeoff.
Shine down!
Busted! Here comes the catch. Take it easy. Take it easy.
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that another way through?
Inazuma shines eternal!
Here we go.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy. The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
The door is open. Let's go!
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Busted. Gotcha. Incinerate! Time for your let's play! There is no escape! Now you shall perish! Here comes the cash!
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry. That went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison, and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tianshu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingxu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's all Yuehai's doing. What a nasty guy. Seize him!
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
Excellent liquor. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingxu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Yuehai. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Yuehai has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Yuehai plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on, fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the? Yuehai, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingxu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingxu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Zhongli, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan?
What? How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Zhongli, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Zhongli, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tian ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tian was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough! That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan, but you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow morning. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals. Don't worry, as long as they're willing to cooperate, this'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Motion to compel!
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baizhu, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tien will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it. Yes, the exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tien. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Ningguang both have potential.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tien not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tien. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tien?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start? I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family background and fame mean everything to many people, but I don't attach great importance to them. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things. What I really admired about Zhi was his intelligence and resilience.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xingyue kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Zhi now?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tien, Yelan, what are you talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Qingxu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Qingxu selection process. With Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Zhi, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger, Regrator, got involved. The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Yuehai is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Qingxu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yanshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement, although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Qingxu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger. All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days, and I still have to prepare.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, it's for me to know and you to find out. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you one, wouldn't you?
Time flies so fast. Before you know it, Lantern Rite's almost here again. The people of Yuehai must have already started preparing for the most important festival of the year, right? Hopefully Paimon will be able to check out tons of great food again this year.
What would you like to know? Something I've said to Zhi, Qinwei, and Mingguo before is that while cunning and scheming are quite crucial, even more important than this is staying true to yourself. Zhi and Ambassador Yusupov each saw each other as a means to an end. They thought that if they could just outsmart their opponent, they would emerge the final victor. And yet, in the eyes of Yelan and Regrator, they are but pawns in a much bigger game. Scheming is an endless endeavor. If you can't cope with it, you're better off staying out of it. It gives you a much clearer view in any case. Everyone has self-interest, but you cannot let it be your master. So, don't fight over fleeting gains and losses. Rather, focus on the direction your heart is leading you, and keep moving forward. What would you like to know? I first met Yelan when she was very young. Even back then, she was extremely tough, and she kept her cards close to her chest. An old friend of mine once privately commented to me that Yelan is always smiling, but never with her eyes. She is a very dangerous person. Something of an exaggeration in my view. At least, I know she would never hurt the people she trusts. What would you like to know? Regrator is the 9th of the Fatui Harbingers, though likely the first among them where wealth is concerned. However, his wealth is not a mere question of how much more he has to his name. He has a very unique understanding of wealth, and what he's planning may very well shake the world to its core. Beyond that, I don't have a lot of information about him. If you need to know more in the future, you can ask Ningguang. What would you like to know? As Yelan says, now that I'm on the mend, I should have another few years' worth of work in me. During this time, I plan to gradually hand over my duties while mentoring some new candidates. That reminds me. Qianwei and Ming Bo are still waiting downstairs. I must go and have a chat with them shortly.
We go say hi to Xiangling first. Huh? Xiangli? What a pleasant surprise meeting you here!
Oh? Why, the pleasure is all mine. As is the surprise, surely. It must be fate that brings us together in this place. How have you fared as of late? I sense you are older and wiser than the last time we met. It seems your travels continue to yield valuable insights. You are too kind.
So, Zhongli, are you here to listen to stories over tea again?
I had originally planned to set out after this last round of tea. However, I had planned to take a walk to Qingxu village and gather some nascent bamboo shoots, which are currently in season. A villager there once gave me a small sample, and they possessed a most excellent flavor.
Huh? Nascent bamboo shoots? Why can't you just use normal bamboo shoots instead? Wait, Paimon knows! Because Zhongli prefers the finer things in life, right? Okay, Mr. Particular, let me guess. Ahem. The nascent bamboo shoot has a uniquely tender texture and a delicate sweet taste that its normal cousin cannot match.
An astute observation, Paimon. You know me well indeed. Lantern Rite is almost upon us, but besides the bamboo shoots, there are a few other items I have not yet procured from Director Hu's list. May I ask if you have already made arrangements for the days ahead?
Well, we were planning to use the opportunity to say hi to some of our friends, but before we were able to figure out a schedule, we ran into you.
Well then, might I invite you to imagine the sheer delight that is a soup cooked with the freshest nascent bamboo shoots in all the land. Generous cuts of pork belly and crisp, fragrant bamboo shoots placed together in the pot and left to simmer slowly for half a day.
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Paimon's onto your plan. You just want to hoodwink us into fetching your bamboo for you.
Why, I assure you, I would do no such thing. I merely wish to inform you of the freshest, most succulent and flavorful bamboo shoots one could ever hope to taste.
Ugh, let's go, Traveler. Paimon's taste buds can't take it anymore. Collecting a few bamboo shoots shouldn't take too long. Paimon has got to get her hands on some of that soup.
Such fine specimens are indeed well worth the excursion. Very well. I shall leave the bamboo shoots to you. Should you have the good fortune to find some, please share them with me as well.
See? Paimon knew he was just bamboozling us.
However, there is no need to rush. The streets of Liu will be bustling with visitors and filled with all manner of celebrations during the festive period. By all means, go wherever your interests lead you. The nascent bamboo shoots would be but a wonderful final touch to a most exceptional feast. What an honor it would be to savor them in the company of friends.
We're heading out. Enjoy your walk, Zhongli.
Take care now, you two.
bamboo shoot, bamboo shoot, nascent bamboo shoot. Oh, this one's only just sprouted, and it looks super fresh. Paimon thinks this is the one. These should be enough. Let's head back.
Help! Help!
Did you hear that? Someone's calling for help. It's coming from over there.
Are you okay? Did any water go down the wrong pipe?
I think I'm okay now. Thank you so much.
That was scary. Well, at least you're all right. All thanks to your savior here. Oh, a little girl?
Greetings, everyone. My name is YaoYao. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Whoa, she's so well-mannered. My name's Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
I'm Dvorak, a musician from Fontaine. I came through Stone Gate, intending to head towards Liyue Harbor, but then I became captivated by the beautiful scenery, and before long, I was completely lost. Just now, I was so mesmerized by the waterfall that I slipped and fell into the water. If it weren't for Miss YaoYao's help, I shudder to think what might have happened.
It's all right, Mr. Dvorak. The splashing around the bottom of the waterfall means the stone path is always wet and slippy. You definitely have to be careful. Next time you're exploring an unfamiliar environment, try to focus on what's right in front of you. Don't let your mind wander. As long as you watch your step, accidents like this won't happen anymore.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I'll remember to be more careful next time.
Oh, are you hungry, sir?
Oh, I'll be fine.
Please, sir, it's quite all right. I was born and raised here in Liyue. It's only natural for me to extend my hospitality to any guests who are passing through. I expect you still have quite a long journey ahead of you. It's very important to keep your energy levels up. I still have some lotus flower crisps left in my backpack. Why don't we split them between the four of us?
Aw, what a thoughtful kid! She even has some for Paimon!
You're welcome.
Mmm, so tasty. If only there were more.
Having a healthy appetite is a good thing. It means Paimon's still growing. If I'd known I was going to run into you, I would have made a second batch.
Hope you're taking notes, Traveler. This is how you treat your Paimon.
What do you think, sir? Are Liyue snacks to your taste? I wonder if they're not sweet enough.
No, they're perfect. When I was traveling through Mondstadt, I had a chance to try one of their moon pies. It had a meat filling, unlike these crisps. But apart from that, it seems like they follow a similar cooking process. Both are delicious in their own way. As for Fontaine's cooking, though, it's been a long time since I've had a taste of home.
Sounds like you spend a lot of time on the road, huh?
I do. It's part of my job. I'm one of the main organizers of the Iridescence Tour.
Iridescence Tour?
The Iridescence Tour is one of the biggest music festivals in Fontaine. We're looking to expand, though. Our aim is to hold a festival in every nation. At least, all the main organizers share this goal. Unfortunately, it's a long story, so I'll spare you the details. But anyway, so the main reason I'm traveling all around Tavad is to promote our music festivals. But I have some personal reasons, too.
Well, what are they? Just tell us already.
Let me see. Well, to explain it in full, I'd have to start with a story from my ancestors. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh, I love listening to stories.
We want to hear it too.
Okay, then I'll start from the beginning. The story goes that my ancestor, who was also a traveler, once slipped and fell into a lake during his travels. As he was sinking and gasping for breath, he heard a wondrous tune in the air. They say it was the most beautiful, moving melody he had ever heard, even in that life and death moment. The ethereal music seized his full attention and almost made him forget the fact that he was drowning. When he finally came to, he found that he had already been brought ashore. Not too far from him stood an unfamiliar woman with an almost divine aura. Once she saw that he was no longer in danger, she left without a word. My ancestor tried to run after her to give his thanks, but although a mere dozen paces separated them, no matter how quickly he gave chase, he drew no closer and remained a dozen paces behind. In the end, all he could do was to bow in thanks to the woman as he watched her walk away towards the rivers and mountains in the distance, before at last he turned around and made his way home. Once he returned to Fontaine, he began to learn an instrument so that he could spread his story far and wide, just like the bards. After generations of retelling, embellishing, and dramatizing, people have come to think of that lady as something like a fairy. The story's become something of a local legend in Fontaine. It's called the Lady Overlooking the Lake. People now say that if you go down to the lakeside and play an instrument, so long as you play a pleasing melody, you will hear a fairy lady who is hiding out of sight, playing along with you.
Wow!
Well, yes. As it stands now, it's become a touch too romantic and detached from reality. But I understand the original story and its historical grounding better than anyone else. I wanted to find out the truth of this tale. So I decided to retrace my ancestors' steps and search for that lady's modern-day descendants. Of course, there's no way of knowing where my ancestor fell into the lake all those years ago. So I always knew that the search would be akin to looking for a needle in a haystack. I've spent many years on the road now, and I'm nowhere near as fit as I was in my youth. The wish that I've spent half my life chasing after has now become something of an obsession.
Well, I haven't lived half of my life yet, but still, I understand how you must feel.
Paimon too! It's like... imagine if you saved the center of a lotus flower crisp, which is the best part, by the way, because you wanted to eat it another day. But then suddenly, sploosh! It falls into the water, never to be seen again! Paimon would definitely remember that for the rest of her life.
There's no need to feel sorry for me. I've made some progress over the years. For example, I've concluded that the story must have taken place in Liyue.
Oh, so you finally found a lead?
Yes, in fact, that's an intriguing story in and of itself. I'd always known that Mondstadt is the city of song and freedom. But more recently, I heard that the Animal Archon returned to Mondstadt for a festival in the fall, and learned that he himself is a patron deity of music. So I prayed for the Animal Archon's guidance in the Mondstadt Cathedral, and as soon as I set foot back outside the front gate, I noticed a cluster of leaves being blown in the wind further and further west, towards Stone Gate. A friendly local told me that this meant the wind was guiding me in the direction of Liyue. So I followed their advice and made my way here. Right? You get it. I knew I'd find someone that agrees with me eventually.
Are you sure? It sounds a bit too much like one of those fake legends told by those treasure hoarder guys to scam gullible grannies from Qingxu village. Rex Lapis has returned to the world. Just give me some incense and a little more towards the travel fees, and I will pass your gift on to the Lord of Geo and ask him to keep you and your family safe and well. And so on and so on.
Don't worry, YaoYao. We have a lot of experience with deciphering omens and stuff. And anyway, you only got scammed if you handed over Mora, right?
Actually, to express my gratitude, I did spend rather a lot of Mora on several bottles of fine wine, which I left at the Statues of the Seven along the way.
Oh dear.
Well, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Why don't I bring you all to Yujing Terrace to see Miss Ganyu? I don't know very many people, so I can't help you out much. But Miss Ganyu and the Qixing know just about everything. If you've been scammed, they'll help you get your Mora back. And if the wind was telling the truth, and you want to keep looking for that lady's family, they'll be the best people to ask.
But you've already helped me so much.
Well, I was going to take some new medicinal herbs and plants I picked to Miss Ganyu anyway, so it's no trouble at all.
You know what? It's been a minute since we saw Ganyu too. It should be nice to pay her a visit before Lantern Rite.
All right. Well, my sincere thanks to you all. I will never forget your kindness.
Okay, everyone. Please follow me. I'll be your guide. Remember to watch where you're going, okay?
Uh-oh. Paimon's out of a job. Oh well. Paimon will just be a cheerleader instead.
Liyue Harbor looks very different from when I came last. It's almost as if I'm listening to the same melody, but with a richer timbre and new variations added.
Well, we are here during Lantern Rite after all. It only comes once a year, so they always have a big celebration. It's fair to say that this time of year is when Liyue Harbor looks the prettiest.
Great! Let's go and check it out. I can't wait to get into the city and see it all up close for myself. The streets are breathtaking. Smiles and laughter everywhere I look. It's contagious. I can almost feel the music in the air. I have the urge to start waving my conductor's baton.
I'm glad that you're enjoying the city.
Hey, everyone. Fancy meeting you all here. What a nice surprise.
Hello, Xinyan. Let me introduce some new friends. They are...
Traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak, right? I've known them all for quite a while.
When I was last here to advertise a Liyue stop for the Iridescence Tour, Xinyan was one of the few people willing to give me the time of day.
Well, feels like I've been chasing this Iridescence Tour bandwagon halfway around the world, but I keep getting stood up. What's going on, Mr. Dvorak?
I'm so sorry, Xinyan. We've had a string of terrible luck recently, and every time we've tried to put on a show, something or other has come up to stop our plans from materializing.
Is that right? I guess it can't be helped. So, what brings you to Liyue Harbor at this time of year anyway? Thinking of putting on a music festival during the Lantern Rite celebrations?
A Lantern Rite music festival? Yes, please!
No, I'm actually here on personal business this time.
Oh, so no Lantern Rite music festival?
I mean, that's not just up to me. Hosting a music festival takes a lot of funding and personnel. Moreover, I've never worked with the Liyue authorities before. Even if I were to start putting something together right now, I think it'd be too rushed.
Wait, but we're going to meet the Liyue Qixing, aren't we? And they're the ones in charge.
Uh-huh, that's right. Miss Keqing and Miss Ningguang can make anything happen.
You mean... what?
This is the perfect opportunity! Well, sure, it might not work out, but it can't hurt to bring it up as a suggestion. That's the spirit! See? Even the Traveler agrees with me. Mr. Dvorak, don't let yourself be put off by the fact that a few things haven't worked out recently. As for the performers, I can put you in touch with some local artists. My friend Yunjin is a well-known opera singer in Liyue. With her support and a commissioned song from the Yunhan Opera Troupe, we should be able to get something going.
But what about you, Xinyan? Are you just going to sit this one out?
What do you take me for? If we actually manage to make the Iridescence Tour Lantern Rite Grand Concert a reality, you think I'd let anyone else perform the opening act?
Wow! There's that rock and roll spirit!
What do you say, Mr. Dvorak?
Okay. I'll give it a shot. But the opening act is not something to be chosen lightly, Xinyan. I will judge your work by the strictest of standards, so please make sure you are fully prepared.
Are you kidding? I thought you'd never ask. Whew, guess my shopping time's getting cut short. I'm gonna head back right away and start working on this. YaoYao, if you run into your senior on the way to the Qingxu, please send her my regards.
Okay, I promise I will. Good luck with your music, Xinyan.
You've got this, Xinyan! So about the senior of yours Xinyan mentioned just now, is that anyone we know?
I've got a bunch of it.
Yes, it's Zhongli. She's mentioned you two before. Zhongli's always thinking about cooking. Whenever she gets scrapes or burns, she just leaves them to heal by themselves. She definitely needs someone around her to look after her. I know you must have looked out for her a lot too in the time you've known her. So, thank you for that.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Oh, it's Master! Is it okay if I go and say hi to her?
Oh, calm down now, dear. I'm not about to run off anywhere. I'm not a bundle of energy like you.
I haven't seen you in days, Master! I've missed you.
Oh, bless you, YaoYao. You do say the sweetest things. Ah, look who it is. Visiting friends during the Lantern Rite, are we?
You're half right, Madam Ping. We were also trying to help out Mr. Dvorak over here. We were on our way to take him to see the Qingxu.
Hello, ma'am. I am a musician from Fontaine and an organizer of the Iridescence Tour. I don't suppose you've heard of it.
Master! The Iridescence Tour is a super famous music festival!
An old lady like me wouldn't know much about that sort of thing. A music festival, you say? It sounds terribly exciting.
Oh, right! Madam Ping, how would you feel about that? You're an elder of Liyue, and you know all about Liyue's cultural traditions. Hearing your thoughts would definitely help us figure out how best to approach it. For example, do you think it might be a bit too modern, or is there any other issue?
Why, not at all. Music pays homage to history and culture, and it can also be a bridge between different civilizations. Times change, and the music enjoyed by the youngsters of today is no doubt very different from the tunes I was accustomed to in my youth. Nevertheless, all fine things in life can be appreciated, and so I look forward to it immensely.
Hear, hear. I do believe that, my own dear grandmother aside, you are the wisest old lady I've ever met.
Goodness gracious, you're all being suspiciously sweet today. YaoYao, whatever have you been feeding them?
Master, you're in such a great mood today. You're even cracking jokes with the rest of us.
Oh, well, I'm sure you must have plenty to be getting on with, yes? Run along now. Don't let me hold you up.
Thanks, Madam Ping. We'll see you again soon.
And when you meet with the Ministry of Civil Affairs, please remind them that the festivities are not an excuse to procrastinate their work.
Understood, Miss Ganyu. I'll take my leave now.
Ganyu!
What brings you here, YaoYao?
I've brought all the medicine you asked me to pick for you. Oh, and here's a pack of sweet flower seeds as well. Also, these dried Qingxu leaves make a great pot of tea that's very good for you. I know you've had a lot to deal with at work recently, but you shouldn't push yourself too hard. If you're not careful, you'll end up falling asleep in the grass again.
Well, this is weird. It's like a responsible younger sister talking to their disorganized older sister.
Thank you, but Paimon's criticism is quite valid. I do have a tendency to neglect matters outside of work, and that's something I should improve on. Oh, my apologies. I don't believe we've been introduced.
Paimon will do the honors. What's wrong? Did Paimon go over everything a bit too fast? It's definitely an ambitious plan. If there's anything you didn't quite catch, Paimon's more than happy to go over it again.
It may be a little difficult to make this happen.
Oh?
Well, the Lantern Rite is the most important festival of the year. Our celebrations must not only be visually spectacular, but also appeal to the tastes of Liyue citizens from all walks of life. The Iridescence Tour is relatively unknown in Liyue. It's difficult to predict how a brand new show will be received. It would be quite risky for us to bet everything on this one music festival.
All very valid points. I completely understand.
Therefore, we will not replace or cancel any of our pre-existing program. However, I will submit a proposal requesting to put the Iridescence Tour special performance as the final act of this year's festivities. Some live music will certainly add to the festive atmosphere on the night of the Lantern Rite. As for the venue, let's reserve a space at the docks. Yes, my thoughts precisely. Now I just need to take some time to give this proposal some polish. As long as I clearly lay out the pros and cons, and highlight the key points of the proposal, given that Ping and the Traveler have both given the idea their blessing, I'm confident that Qixing will be sure to give it serious consideration. Mr. Dvorak, I will need to discuss with you the number of musicians who will be coming to Liyue, as well as their catering and accommodation requirements.
Oh, yes, certainly. Let's step to the side and discuss further.
As soon as there's work to do, Ganyu's as diligent as ever.
I couldn't agree more. Master once said that everyone has things that they are good at and things that they are less good at. So, with that in mind, Ganyu shouldn't feel compelled to become perfect at absolutely everything. I'm good at taking care of people, so that can be left to me.
Wow. Hey, YaoYao, can you take care of Paimon too? Paimon's getting hungry again.
I'm afraid my backpack's empty now, but if you let me know what you like, I can bring you some of your favorite dishes next time we meet. Apart from lotus flower crisps, what else do you like?
Anything sweet, and anything that's made from slimes.
Here's what I've drafted so far. Anything else you want to add?
No, this is excellent. I'm racking my brains, but I don't think you've missed a single thing.
Perfect. Then we'll leave it as is. I'll go make an official copy. Oh, perfect timing. We were just wrapping up our discussion here. Not at all. Every second counts for a complex proposal such as this. I will inform the Qixing of this development immediately. Please give me a moment to pass on the message. YaoYao, thank you for bringing my herbs. I will make sure to take them.
Remember to make tea from them first, Ganyu. You mustn't just chew them raw.
I will.
Okay, I should be getting back. If YaoYao stays out for too long, Mom and Dad will be worried sick. Everyone, I'm sure that the music festival will go off without a hitch, so don't worry. And in case I don't see you before, I wish you all a very happy Lantern Rite.
Thank you, YaoYao. Happy Lantern Rite to you, too.
We should go get dinner together sometime!
That lady I just talked to, Ganyu, she really thinks of everything. It got me wondering, Could it be that all our failed attempts so far have been down to our failure to properly prepare for different contingencies?
Greetings, Traveler, Paimon, and Mr. Dvorak. Call me Kuching. Ganyu has brought me up to speed on everything. I'll get straight to the point. The Qixing have approved Ganyu's proposal. Over the next few days, I will be working with Mr. Dvorak on behalf of the Qixing to facilitate the organization of this concert.
Yay! That's awesome!
Please. The Qixing have a duty to deal with matters such as these. We have merely moved things forward to the next step. On a more personal note, I am an avid supporter of all things new and innovative. As such, it is my privilege to work with you on this exciting project.
Thank you so much, Kuching. I'd become quite discouraged after our recent failures and was expecting the same outcome once again, so I didn't dare to get my hopes up. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this going so smoothly. It's like a dream come true. Right, time for me to call in the performers. To stage a concert at a high-profile event like this is a rare opportunity. We'll make sure it's a night to remember.
Yes! Our music band's finally getting fired up!
Yes, indeed. I know exactly what I'm doing from here. For a musician, music will always be the language they are most fluent in. Oh, that. That can wait for another time.
Oh. Ganyu? What's wrong?
They told me all about Mr. Dvorak's situation, but I was so engrossed in drafting the proposal that I forgot all about it.
Oh, that's quite all right. I don't even know what the person I'm trying to find looks like, so it was always going to be a long shot. Don't worry about me, Ganyu. Your time and energy are needed elsewhere. I'm sure you already have plenty to deal with between this concert and everything else going on during the Lantern Rite.
Thanks. It was just that I had a few initial thoughts when I heard your story. For instance, I wonder if this lady your ancestor met might have been an adeptus. What do you think? To tell you the truth, Mr. Dvorak, I am somewhat related to the adepti myself. I am part human and part Qilin. The Qilin is an illuminated beast. I know how important your quest to get in touch with your roots must be to you, because I've been there myself before, trying to find out where I belonged.
Did you say the Adepti? And you're illuminated beast? Part Qilin? Are you telling me all the rumors of the Liyue Adepti are real? So it's not just artistic license?
You bet they're real! Trying to track them down is tough, though. Like Julian Karst itself. There's nothing specifically stopping you from going there, but getting in and out of there is quite an ordeal.
Yes. Anyway, if you're looking to uncover a lost melody or shine light on a forgotten aspect of Liyue's cultural history, I'm probably not the best person to ask. But if it's a person you're looking for, then I just might be able to help.
I see. I think I understand the situation now. In that case, Ganyu, shall we divide the work between us?
Yes, that was also my thought.
Great. So Mr. Dvorak and I will concentrate on things here in the city to make sure the concert goes according to plan. In the meantime, Ganyu will reach out to her network and try to find the person he's looking for. How's your workload at the moment? Will you be able to make time?
I can probably get through everything in 2 days, as long as I don't sleep.
Wait, what do you mean as long as I don't sleep? Even for someone with illuminated beast blood in their veins, working for such an extended period without a break will take its toll on your health.
Somehow that does not sound persuasive coming from Kuching.
Be it but 3 moons from the start, he who returns is not he that departs. Even I know the importance of maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
In that case, 3 days.
All right, I can work with that.
If you have the time, would you join me for this search? You're well known to many of the Adepti and respected among the people. I'll feel much more at ease with your company. Okay, then let's meet back here in 3 days.
Watch this space, Mr. Dvorak. We'll get to the bottom of this.
You're all so helpful and kind.
Just think. Imagine if we found the Adeptus lady, or one of her descendants, and got them to come to the performance. Wouldn't that be amazing? It'd be such a happy reunion. And that's exactly what this festival's all about.
You're right. Okay, I'm gonna pull out all the stops to make this Lantern Rite a true extravaganza.
We should probably get going. Mr. Dvorak, could you come with me to confirm the site?
Ooh, we're coming too!
I was wondering, what are your thoughts on music? What does it mean to you?
Music sounds nice?
Truth be told, the question of what music means to people is one that I've been pondering for quite some time. Let's revisit this question after the concert.
Lady Yuehai?
Baiwen, what is it?
Per Lady Ningguang's orders, I've been gathering intelligence outside of the city with the goal of uncovering and dispatching any trouble ahead of the festival. I am told that a strange melody was heard somewhere along the coast. I was wary of investigating further on my own, so I was just on my way to report this incident to Lady Ningguang. But I'm worried that if we don't act right away, we may miss the window of opportunity to take appropriate action.
I understand. In that case,
Yeah, Qingxu, you're busy enough as it is. There's a ton of different things in the city that needs your attention. Leave it to us. Don't worry. Whatever it is, we'll definitely be able to handle it. Well, he will handle it.
With the Traveler on the case, it's as good as dealt with. Thank you. This will be a great help. I will inform Lady Ningguang about the situation. Once it's resolved, please come and find me again at Yujing Terrace and let me know.
Will do! And say hi to Ningguang for us!
You have my thanks, too. Stay safe and come back as soon as you're finished.
Good luck.
Give me that transfer.
She said she'll reach out to the Yunhan Opera Troupe? I see. Then I'll arrange for a rehearsal venue and accommodation as soon as possible. Everything should be ready tonight.
Many thanks, Qingxu. You know, I once heard someone from Liyue describe a person as swift as lightning and agile as the wind. At the time, I thought it was a curious expression, and I had a hard time piecing together a mental image of such a person. But now, having seen Qingxu in action, I honestly can't think of any other way to describe it. It's such a vivid and expressive phrase, a testament to the richness of Liyue's culture.
You're too kind, Mr. Dvorak.
Judgment!
Byron said the strange tomb is coming from around here, right? But Paimon doesn't hear anything. There doesn't seem to be a soul in...
I was just wondering who in their right mind would come out to a place like this. So, it's you two.
Yelan! How'd you sneak up on us like that? You nearly gave Paimon a heart attack!
You look pretty alive to me. Can't have spooked you that bad. Ah, you're here for that too? Saves me a bit of explaining. Come with me. I've already reconned the perimeter, so we should be safe.
The stuff by the door is in pretty good condition, though. It can't have been too long ago that someone was last living here. This place is completely empty. There's nothing valuable left here at all. The doors and the windows are all fine, so there definitely wasn't a break-in. How strange. It looks like it's been looted, except for the fact that there's no sign of a struggle. The bad guys could have sneaked in while the owner was gone, but then how do you explain why the door and windows are intact?
Seems you've done a pretty thorough inspection. So, any theories on what might have happened here?
Yelan, you didn't hide some of the evidence from us on purpose, did you?
Why would I make this more difficult for you? We're on the same side here.
Okay, well, Paimon gives up then. Paimon's got nothing.
What about you? Give up as well? Yep. It's not obvious at first sight, that's for sure. To be honest, I was only able to put it all together because of some background knowledge about this area. A long time ago, there used to be a group of bandits in the Yuehai countryside who would sound a horn every time they were about to raid a village. But it wasn't a rallying cry to rouse their fellow men. It was a disconcerting tune, meant to intimidate the weak and warn them of their impending doom. To escape with their lives, the villagers would abandon their homes and flee overnight, taking only their most valuable belongings with them. Everything else was left behind. The bandits were eventually brought to justice, but the fear and trauma remained in the villagers' hearts. Whenever they heard that melody, they would feel like their lives were in danger once again, and flee immediately. The culprit of this crime exploited that very fear to get access to this house without having to force their way in.
Whew! That's quite the story.
The victims obviously will have gotten quite a fright, but at least they won't be in any great danger. The important thing now is to find this copycat criminal. On any other day, that'd probably be a good idea. Unfortunately, it's not gonna work today. Take a look around and you'll see what I mean. This criminal is clearly well-versed both in using music to commit crimes and in making a clean getaway. Not only did they stay off the muddy road to avoid leaving footprints, it looks like they were also careful not to bring any gadgets with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Evidently, they were intent on keeping even the most experienced investigators off their trail. Unfortunately for them, I'm one of the best trackers in the business. They're not about to get away with their little scheme on my watch.
So basically, if we want to find the culprit, we just need to follow Yelan.
Mm-hmm. As long as you can keep up. Since the culprit's trying to be cautious and low risk, I'll bet they left through an area with some vegetation for cover, but not so much that it would slow them down. Here, look at this. These tracks are superficial, but they definitely didn't occur naturally. Something heavy was being dragged this way, meaning we're headed in the right direction.
You can't run!
Huh. Their pace is increased. Normally, people carrying a heavy load slow down as their journey goes on and they start to tire. Whatever's motivating them to speed up must be psychological. For instance, reaching the home stretch.
That is what life in Mondstadt is all about, isn't it?
treasures again. And so close to Lantern Rite, too. 'Tis not the season for their antics.
Come on, let's round 'em up.
Hey! Who are you? Where did you come from?
The evidence is conclusive. Okay, confess and we'll go easy on you. My patience is running low, so why don't you do us both a favor,
You kidding me? You think I'm scared of you?
Perhaps not, but you should be. Busted!
Curses. Seems like you're not all talk after all. There's no going back now. Better up my game. Mercy! Have mercy!
Oh, it's a little late for that. I've come this far, I might as well finish the job.
I surrender! I surrender, please! I'll do whatever you say. Please have mercy.
Tell us everything. You have one chance. And I'm warning you. Don't make me ask twice.
I won't, I swear. So Lantern Rite's nearly here, and like a lot of people, I wanted to buy a few nice things. I know I'm with the treasure hoarders and everything, but I don't really have any kind of experience with robbing people and whatnot. So I don't have the guts to break into somebody's house.
Wow, you're really going to complain to us about that?
No, not at all. I'm just telling it how it is.
Okay, continue.
I racked my brains trying to think of what I could do, and eventually I remembered something from back when I was a kid. The bandits would blow their horn, and my grandma would grab us kids and run. I remember the tune, so I figured I'd try it for myself. I mean, just to see what would happen. At first, anyway, I seriously didn't expect that family to pack up and leave. But they did, and they just left all their stuff right there for the taking. It was too easy, I couldn't resist. It was completely wrong of me, I know that now. I'll return everything that I took. It's all still in perfect condition, and it'll be like it was never gone. Please, give me a chance, huh? Let me make it right.
Give you a chance, huh? Sounds to me like you'd rather strike some kind of a deal than spend Lantern Rite behind bars.
Yes? Yes?
You know how to bargain, I'll give you that. It's just a pity that you didn't confess at the first opportunity. You'll have to take a walk with me. Once we've returned the goods, we'll find the owner of the house, and you can apologize to them in person. After that, I'll escort you to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Yes, ma'am!
You know, as a former victim of this kind of crime yourself, I doubt anyone understands the fear you inflicted quite as well as you do. Does your greed matter more to you than your fear? More to the point, if you can play a tune from memory, don't you think you should be capable of making an honest living?
You mean...
That's enough hints for you. You'll have plenty of time to reflect on all of this yourself. There's not much left to wrap up, so I'll take it from here. Guess this is where I'll say goodbye.
What is it? Is there something else?
I'm still not sure how you first got your hands on this information, so play it safe when you get back. Don't mention to anyone that you ran into me out here. You helped a lot with the investigation and arrest anyway, so it's perfectly fair for you to get all the credit. Just take it. It works better for me, too. See you when I see you, and happy Lantern Rite.
Yelan's such a pro at this. With her taking it from here, it's as good as resolved. Whoosh! Random event, a strange melody, complete. Although, it's kind of a shame that we never got that treasure hoarder guy to play the melody again. Right? How could anyone not be? When we were chatting with Mr. Dvorak, music seemed like such a positive thing. And most music is, right? It can help us relax, feel all warm and fuzzy, recall happy memories, or even just think happy thoughts. Paimon never imagined that music could be used to commit crimes. Oh, really? Huh. Makes sense. Paimon's musical understanding improves again! Well, anyway, now that everything's resolved, let's get back to Liyue Harbor. Byron's still waiting for us with our random event rewards.
That's great news! Oh, please wait here a moment if you would be so kind. Lady Ningguang instructed me to advise her upon your return.
My greetings to both of you. Long time no see.
No need to be so formal with us, Ningguang. We've known each other for a long time now. You must be super busy with all the preparations for Lantern Rite. Don't mind us.
On the contrary, I think it is those that I have known longest to whom I should extend the greatest courtesies. Alas, on a different day, I would invite both of you inside for some tea and a brief respite from your travels. But you're quite right. Trivial matters aside, there's no escaping the fact that we have a grand concert to organize. Once the performance itself is over, we'll then need to invite the representatives of the Iridescence Tour for a discussion on future collaboration opportunities. The financing arrangements alone could well entail many rounds of discussion. Simply put, there will always be work to do.
Whoa, you're already thinking that far ahead?
Well, we can discuss more current affairs if you'd prefer. I trust you saw this year's Mingxiao lantern at the docks when you arrived at the city?
Yeah, it looked like a goose. Which Adeptus is it modeled on this time?
Sea Gazer. I believe you're familiar with the name. Legend holds that he was free-spirited and easygoing. People described him as a cheerful soul and a loyal friend. On this marvelous Lantern Rite, we pray that the fallen heroes may be guided home. If the sound of music can flow like the rivers and streams into every corner of the land, perhaps the souls of those who have gone before us will hear the song of a new era. I wonder whether the melodies will be to their liking.
Oh, they're gonna love them. I'm sure of it. At least, if the guy you mentioned is anything to go by, the Adepti and heroes of the past sound like a positive and free-spirited, cheerful bunch. They're sure to be open to new music.
Well, let's hope so. I heard that you'll be going on a search with Ganyu to find the descendants of a fairy lady from a Fontaine legend. I'm sure this quest to uncover the truth behind an ancient story will turn into a most charming tale. Do share it with me, won't you? I couldn't bear to miss out.
Don't we have a job to do?
You can't run! Incinerate! Let's play! Time for takeoff! Lights out!
Huh?
Yeah! Incinerate! Now you shall perish!
Brace yourself. Yeah, yeah.
Let's play!
Yahoo! Think you can get away? How rude! Illusion shattered! Ha! Ha! Inazuma shines eternal!
Should suffocate. Picked the wrong test subject.
There are a few interesting trinkets here.
Judgment!
Don't we have a job to do?